6 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Hassan Gilani. First, the headlines. President of Kyrgyzstan has arrived in Islamabad on a two-day state visit to Pakistan. Prime Minister says national tariff policy will enhance domestic industrial production and make business competitive in markets. Shehbaz Sharif has announced bidding for PIA's privatization on 23rd of this month. Deputy Prime Minister has stressed the need for revival of SARC, eliminating artificial hurdles. All Parties Hurriyat Conference has appealed to the United Nations and world powers to play their role in halting Indian state terrorism in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In Women Under-19 T20 series, Pakistan beat Bangladesh by 13 runs at Cox's Bazar today. And now the news in detail. Kyrgyzstan President Sadr Nurgozovich Zhehrabov arrived in Islamabad today on his two-day maiden visit to Pakistan. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif received the Kyrgyz president at the airport. A 21-gun salute was presented in honor of the visiting dignitary, while children wrapped in banquet of flowers. The Kyrgyz president is accompanied by a high-level delegation comprising senior cabinet ministers, top officials, and prominent business leaders. During the visit, President Zhehrabov is expected to meet the President of Pakistan, hold one-on-one talks followed by delegation-level talks with the Prime Minister, and address the Pakistan-Kyrgyzstan Business Forum. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has said reducing the production cost of industrial products for local industry is a priority for the government. He was chairing a review meeting to evaluate the recommendations of the sub-working group established for customs duty and other reforms in the trade sector. Shehbaz Sharif said the national tariff policy approved by the government is a revolutionary step that will enhance domestic industrial production and make businesses competitive in both local and international markets. The Prime Minister directed that customs duty collection at the borders for bilateral and transit trade products with other countries must be closely monitored. The sub-working group, consisting of representative business figures, briefed the Prime Minister on issues related to customs and tax collection and presented their recommendations. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has announced that the bidding for the privatization of Pakistan International Airlines will be held on the 23rd of this month to be broadcast live on television to ensure transparency. Speaking in Islamabad today to business leaders and company representatives participating in PIA's privatization, he emphasized that the transparency and merit remain the government's foremost priorities in the process. The Prime Minister said privatization is being carried out smoothly to restore PIA's lost identity and align the national flag carrier with modern requirements. He expressed the confidence that PIA will soon once again live up to its tradition of being great people to fly with. Shehbaz Sharif highlighted that the restoration of PIA's international flights will provide greater convenience to overseas Pakistanis. He also stressed the need of modernizing the airline to support the growth of Pakistan's tourism sector. Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar has called for removing artificial obstacles in the way of SARC and enabling it to start refunctioning. He was addressing the Islamabad Conclave 2025, titled Reimagining South Asia, Security, Economy, Climate, Connectivity Today. Ishaq Dar said Pakistan envisions a South Asia where connectivity replaces divisions, economies grow in synergy, disputes are resolved peacefully in accordance with the international legitimacy, and where peace is maintained with dignity and honor. The Deputy Prime Minister said Pakistan remains ready to work with all willing partners to help South Asia reach its immense potential. He emphasized that there is need to reimagine South Asia and identify pathways to the peace, progress and prosperity of peoples. Referring to the May conflict, Ishaq Dar said Pakistan demonstrated both resolve and capability to thwart aggression and reinforce deterrence. He said sustainable peace in South Asia requires more than maintaining strategic stability. He said the just and lasting solution of Jammu and Kashmir dispute remains indispensable. This is Radio Pakistan. The Senate will resume its session at the Parliament House in Islamabad tomorrow afternoon, while the National Assembly will meet on Friday morning. Besides legislative business, both houses will take up matters of national and international importance. 3 police personnel were martyred while 3 others injured in a bomb blast near a police van in Paniyala area of district Paharpur in Dera Ismail Khan today. According to the reports, terrorists targeted the police van with a remote-controlled bomb. President Asif Ali Zardari and Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif have expressed grief and sorrow over the martyrdom of security personnel in a terrorist attack on a police van in Dera Ismail Khan. In their separate statements, they paid tributes to the martyrs and prayed for the recovery of those injured in the incident. All Parties Hurriyat Conference has said that Indian forces during continued cordon and search operations and house raids are arresting innocent youth and harassing people under black laws in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. According to Kashmir Media Service, APHC spokesman Advocate Abdul Rashid Minhas, in a statement in Srinagar, said that Indian forces are subjecting Kashmiris to torture and rendering them mentally and physically disabled. He said that many international organizations, including the UN, Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch have released eye-opening reports regarding Indian brutalities against the Kashmiri people. But despite this, Indian oppression in IIOJK is increasing day by day. The statement appealed to the United Nations and world powers to play their role in halting Indian state terrorism in the occupied territory. The APHC, condemning the reign of terror unleashed by Indian forces and the BJP regime across Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, urged the United Nations to force India to end state terrorism and modern-day slavery in the occupied territory. The statement said that Indian forces enjoying unbridled powers under black laws are perpetrating crimes against Kashmiris who are struggling to break the shackles of Indian slavery and secure their UN-acknowledged right to self-determination. Malaysia has announced to resume the search for its missing flight MH370 later this month to resolve one of the world's greatest aviation mysteries. The Malaysian airline flight MH370 had vanished from radars shortly after takeoff on March 8, 2014 from Malaysia's capital Kuala Lumpur en route to Beijing, China. The aircraft, a Boeing 777, was carrying 227 passengers and 12 crew members when it vanished. Malaysian Transport Ministry said the search will focus on targeted areas assessed to have the highest probability of locating the aircraft. In the first match of Women Under-19 T20 series, Pakistan beat Bangladesh by 13 runs in Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh today. Batting first, Pakistan team were all out for 88 runs in 19.4 overs. In reply, Bangladesh team were all out for 75 runs in 19.5 overs. The second match of the 5-match series will be played on Friday on the same venue. And finally, the weather. Cloudy weather conditions are expected in Upper Punjab, Kashmir, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Gilgit-Baltistan, while very cold weather in upper hilly areas during the morning and night during the next 12 hours. However, cold and dry weather is likely to persist over other parts of the country. Smog and fog in patches during morning and night are likely to persist over plain areas of Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And now the headlines once again. President of Kyrgyzstan has arrived in Islamabad on a 2-day state visit to Pakistan. Prime Minister says national tariff policy will enhance domestic industrial production and make businesses competitive in markets. Shehbaz Sharif has announced bidding for PIA's privatization on 23rd of this month. Deputy Prime Minister has stressed the need for revival of SARC, eliminating artificial hurdles. All Parties Hurriyat Conference has appealed to the United Nations and world powers to play their role in halting Indian state terrorism in Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In Women Under-19 T20 series, Pakistan beat Bangladesh by 13 runs at Cox's Bazar today. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.